What's up, guys? I'm CJ, one of the guitar players for GRÄVELŌRD. Glad to be here.
Yo, what's up, everyone? I'm Mario. I am the vocalist of GRÄVELŌRD.
What's up, guys? I'm Steve, and I play bass in GRÄVELŌRD.
And I'm Michael, and I play guitar in GRÄVELŌRD.
My name is also Mike. You could call me Preston, and I play the drums in GRÄVELŌRD.
All right, and we are on the 1, 2.
It's all staying in.
On the PERNcast.
Whoa. Good. Great job, guys. All right.
That's the best one yet.
What do we say?
We like it.
Like 4, 3, 2, 1. Say, and I am on the PERNcast.
All right, let's go.
As individual?
And we are.
Like together.
We are on the
PERNcast.
Yeah, there you go.
And we are on the
PERNcast.
Woo!
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Let's go.
All right, now we're really going to get through it. GRÄVELŌRD.
Yeah.
What's up, kids?
Yo, man. Yo, seriously, thanks for having us, guys. This is so cool.
We're very, very happy to have you. We're fans. We really enjoyed. We had a little bit of a free show here from you guys. You ripped 3 songs. They're going to be edited into the show throughout. Honestly, man, honor's all on this side of the table for us. We were looking forward to this one. Glad we made it happen. What's going on?
You know, we've been active. We've been doing our thing. And as far as like, you know, this year's concerned and how it's going, like we're on fire, dude. We just dropped our new album, first time ever. So,
Yeah.
Anesthetic.
Anesthetic, man. Pick that up. Well, no, not physically, but you know, on like Spotify or
Pick up your phone.
pick up your phone.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're staying super fucking active. We're fucking killing it, dude. We got momentum, so
That's
what
important.
That's what I'm thinking.
Got
Can
a
you
lot
actually-
of positive reception from it so far.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, actually,
Very
can
good.
we talk about the momentum?
Yeah.
What's been going on? Like, you know, even, I guess, early on, you know, the momentum and then how it's been going lately.
So I think part of that momentum is just we're all kind of like finally getting on board. And I think for like listeners and anyone that's like in a band, one of the hardest things for any band is everybody to be like on the same like wavelength, like wanting the same things. And even if people want the same things, it's really hard for like everyone to just be able to, you know, be on all the time.
Yep.
And I'd say since we were recording our EP in the summer, like we've just been like, hey, this is what
Album.
we're doing this month. Oh, sorry,
Album.
album. I'm so used to, we have a lot of EPs. Sorry. Album. We've just been like, okay, this month we're doing this. Like we've been playing super consistently, which is really hard to do when you've been in the game for fucking 10 fucking years. For
Yeah,
us.
and just kind of like to that point, you know, we've been around a long time, but there were stretches where we were sort of inactive. There'd be like 2 people kind of rowing in a direction, but the group as a whole wasn't necessarily had a goal in mind. So it's been really nice to have all 5 of us just like, this is the way we're going and kind of all rowing together finally.
Isn't that crazy to think about? Like a decade later, now we're dialed in. But I mean, sometimes
yes.
that's what it takes. I mean,
Yeah.
like, how did it start? Like, how did you guys get going?
I mean, it really...
I think
Recently? How did it get going recently?
No. I
the
mean, like,
OG.
what was
Oh,
the
the
beginning?
beginning.
Like? What was the
I think-
beginning like?
I mean, we
Mike, you
just-
should do the honors here.
Yeah,
Sure.
this is a Mike Wooden story.
Sure. You know, I had met all of these people on this side. And, you know, our drummer at the time, his name is Josh Edwards. And I played like soccer with him growing up, dated his cousin for like 7 years. So I had a very deep relationship with him and all. But I started a band in a basement called Endless Obsession, like back in like 2008, 2009. And then slowly, you know, Steve kind of jumped into the band around 2010, 2011. And, you know, that was a really fun project that lasted for about 5-6 years or so. And then, you know, you kind of go on to college and the careers are kind of starting and everything. And then, you know, all of us here, including Josh actually at the time, we're all going to Rowan University.
Okay.
And so, you know, a deep friendship of the 3 of us, you know, Josh, who's not here right anymore. But we like, what if we kickstart? Because met him in one of my education courses, running into CJ at the gym at Rowan University, and I just had tremendous respect for him as a player in the early 2010 years. He was way ahead of the curve, ripping, amazing technique. Alexi, he could play in Children of Bottom right now if he had to. Just on the dot. He's
I want to say when I met Mike, he had a Sumerian Records shirt on, and he was carrying a guitar.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I had a Bring Me the Horizon shirt.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I studied classical guitar. I had like gnarly fingernails in college and everything. So I always had my guitar on me. You're always spending time in the practice room, like doing, lots of classical and flamenco like stuff. So like all of us were like brothers and great friends and everything.
And the idea of the band was the initial GRÄVELŌRD was going to be like stupid heavy. We like Acacia Strain. We were going to just write nonsense.
We just want to have fun.
And I was still playing guitar back then too. And then we got CJ, who's an unbelievable player. I was like, I'll play bass.
Truthfully, like when I had known Mike for a while, and we had discussed, every now and then starting a project. We were in 2 different projects, and finally when the opportunity came up, as Steve pointed out, it was, I don't want to say it was a joke, but it was like, let's just write just stupid heavy stuff and have fun with it. And if you go back and listen to our first EP that we dropped back in 2017,
It was like 17.
it's just a mishmash of, it's basically what you would get if you threw a bunch of college kids in a room that had different music styles.
Right, yeah.
So
like total side project.
And everybody was just on different wavelengths, and kind of started there, and then
Then fast forward
9 years, Mike has really just been the missing piece of the puzzle.
Yes.
Okay.
And nothing can, like MVP Preston right here, really, like the work ethic, showing up, all like when we auditioned him and everything, blew us away, very committed, was in another band, ultimately, like, wasn't working out, put full time here. But I think, you're asking like, when do we really kick up steam? I think a lot of that has to do with Michael over here.
Okay.
Agreed.
Awesome.
Agreed.
Did Mike change the environment or the atmosphere at all? Like did he? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah, like I think what Mike really brought to the table was like this new level of like
focus,
commitment,
dedication.
And it's not like, when you write music, there's still so much commitment and dedication that goes in that, but there's so much more to music if you're in a band too, like he just knew how to be a good band member, and that's just so important.
It's huge. Yeah. We never actually we delve into pieces of it, we'll ask questions like, it's hard, I made a joke upstairs earlier. It's hard to get 5 adults, together in one place and agree to all be somewhere at the same time. But I mean, being a good band member is it's like a heavy statement, because there's so much into, it's more than showing up for rehearsal, showing up to shows, rolling up at showtime and stuff. I mean, like it's a full on marriage of, of multiple individuals and everybody with their own opinions. It's awesome to hear you guys are.
Yeah, like anything else, it's, like Preston, you've been like the best, just like showing up, everything that has to be done is done exactly when it's needed to be done. And it's really hard to get another person, and you definitely were the missing piece.
Ultimately, like Josh is my brother from like elementary school. Like his dad literally was my soccer coach, my first soccer coach, like when I was knee high to a grasshopper and everything. But, Josh was moving on to a new phase of his life. He had a son and was moving kind of far out. He moved, got married, and as the guys really wanted to pick up steam and play further out, play out more, saying yes to opportunities, it just was very apparent that it wasn't really compatible anymore.
Right.
So there's like no personal, like no beef.
Yeah.
He's our brother. Like we're all each other's groomsmen and each other's weddings and everything. And there's a deep brotherhood for sure.
Yeah. That's
was
great.
Mike, sorry.
No,
Sorry.
please.
I was gonna say, was Mike like persistent on getting you guys to like rehearse more and like say yes to more shows?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so
I
Mike
think
is kind of like
the latter for sure.
man.
Yeah, and I think just the being so dependable, like him kind of being like, I could probably do that show. But like every single time we're like, hey, could we do this? And he's like, I could probably make it happen. Let me check my calendar. Yeah, we'll do it. So it's like just saying yes to so many opportunities. And I think people underestimate like, you know, what that can do to elevate you as a band is just
The power of
performing.
saying
and
yes.
Yeah, just saying yes to things.
Yeah. It means everything.
Yeah.
It really does.
I mean, what's your take?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mike,
Mike,
you're here
Yeah,
too.
I'm
so-
just watching you guys talk about me.
It's interesting.
No, for me, it's all. I feel like I'm just reciprocating. Like early, like when I first met them, I knew I could see the dedication level and the talent. Like, and you just don't find that every day. So, for me, it was like if I join this project, I have to bring the A game. You know what I mean? Like, yes, like saying yes to pretty much everything. As long, all things considered. But yeah, just being willing, just getting out of my comfort zone, pushing myself, and then being reliable.
Do you push them if they say no? Like if somebody's like, "Hey, I don't think we should do this," or are you the type of
Honestly,
person
I feel like everything's always a yes from them. I
Wow.
feel like I'm
No,
like,
he says no. He said no yesterday. Confirmed.
Confirm no.
said no to something?
He did say no.
said no to
He said no to something.
well,
like a Dunkin' Donuts.
this
order
year's
or
a
something.
little
That's exactly
different.
what it was.
But
It
in
was a
general,
snacker.
the bigger thing is just the all 5 of us this year. Really, not even a full year at this point. How long has it been?
I met you guys in August 2024, but it hasn't been a full year since our first show together.
I was curious. Was it what was it like? I mean, you're stepping into a group of guys with a hell of a history already. Was that intimidating or?
Well,
I
I knew
not intimidating per se, but like I mean, you're stepping into like a brotherhood almost of of the
yeah. I
strong
mean,
relationship.
I knew I was filling big shoes. Like, I mean, you listen to the old music; it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
The drumming is phenomenal. It pushed me to, things I didn't even think I could achieve. And then, like making new friends, like that's always daunting. Like I'm like a little socially awkward sometimes. I have trouble making new friends.
You're in
but
good company.
with these guys. It's
I'm
been like,
socially awkward as that shit, man.
yeah, it's been a very it was like a month or so in. Like I just felt comfortable with these guys. Like we've been friends for years, and we have a lot in common. Like being in the same music scene
Right.
for so long, liking similar music, and just playing the same venue, all that. So it's like it was pretty easy to kind of get on board.
That's awesome. That's great.
I want to say how we met, Mike. So when we were in the process of looking for a new drummer, it was I think what was the website? Reverb Nation or something.
I think it was Bandmix.
It was Hinge.
And it's literally like
the
Hinge
best
for
platform.
musicians.
Yeah.
Grindr.
And I was scrolling on there, this plethora of drummers, and I'm just messaging random people and adding them on Instagram. Hey, you want to play drums? And I saw Preston, like a photo of him, and I was like, this guy seems like a cool, like chill guy. Let me reach out to him. And just like literally the next day, you got back to me and were like, yeah, I'll check it out. And I think a week later we were.
I remember I think it was like late at night. I got a message from CJ on Instagram. I'm like,
just
So it is Hinge, isn't it?
Sliding those
Slide
DMs.
the
drummers.
but
You want to play drums in my band?
he had sent me self-destruct, and it was literally like probably 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and I went down and started learning it. I'm like, this is badass. Like I gotta at least try out. And I was in another band, but I'm like, yeah, this is something I need to. If I can play it, I'm going to try out.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Sick.
So
And I knew after the first audition, because we did a couple auditions, I was like, yeah, I like this guy. Like, even just like the demeanor and just like the energy. And
Yep.
I think we were all just on the same page.
It's the
It's
whole
interesting.
package.
Yeah.
like,
Well, you need that.
personality.
Yeah.
Mike's a good dude. So it was a no-brainer.
Go red,
Awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Definitely have to fit the vibe, and everyone has to like
100%.
have that chemistry.
It's always so good when you have that moment where it's like somebody comes in and you're just like, okay, this guy fits. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even sometimes about the music playing as much as just like you could just tell. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, we've had moments where it's just like somebody will come in and we're just like, it just feels right. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. It sounds like Mike was the perfect fit, and I mean, you guys sound phenomenal, and your drumming is phenomenal too, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, all you guys, I mean, incredible musicians. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, some of the best that have certainly come through here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, really impressive. Not even just technique, just I mean, even your writing style, the way you put songs together. I mean, they're fucking great songs. What do you, CJ? Hey, like, how long have you been playing? I mean, you seem very learned.
I've been playing I'm aging myself here, but about 20 years.
Okay.
So since I was 14 years old, and first record I heard that made me immediately want to pick up a guitar was Iowa by Slipknot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I was, you know, like I didn't know shit about fuck, right?
Yeah.
And, I was like, you know, Dad, can I get a guitar? And he was like, all right. And he got me like some shitty acoustic guitar just to bang around with. And,
Sure.
A few months later, I got an electric guitar, and I'm learning all of Iowa. I'm learning all of their first album, their self-titled. And then I had a buddy in 8th grade who was just like, yo, check out this band, Children of Bodom. I was like, okay.
Oh,
And I
throwback.
immediately gravitated towards that because it's just something very majestic about their music. That, and so it kind of just elevated my development, pushed me as a musician, learned a lot of music theory. And that was really the groundwork for everything.
And all self-taught.
I would say like 90%.
Awesome.
I kind of go in and out.
Yeah.
I've had jazz professors. I've had, I even took guitar lessons from Timu, who's now the guitar player for Megadeth.
Okay.
That was before he was in Megadeth.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal.
Student of the lead guitar player of who's on the Billboard #1 right now. Just saying.
Well, it shows, man.
Yeah. No. I mean,
Got to
you were-
reach back out to that guy and be like, listen, man.
And
I can show you a
look
thing.
what you
He
did.
was like the nicest guy ever. You know, I took maybe like 4 or 5 months worth of lessons from him. He taught me a lot, like expedited my development and years worth in just a few months. So
Was he heavy on music theory, or was he?
he was more heavy on technique with me because I had a lot of
Tension.
I had a lot of wrist and arm pain when I was playing, just from straining because you know, trying to pick faster and play faster, and velocity. It's important to just have the correct, you know, mechanical parts. So, you know, I was showing him, and he just was like, no, you got to do this, and he would send me videos of like, you know, just like exercises just to eliminate over, you know, extending or beating up certain parts of your arm or whatever. So then he helped me with a few other techniques, pick slanting, just a lot of shit. He's awesome person, and but he's so busy right now. He don't have time to talk to me.
I think he's got a thing or two going on right now.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
How about you, Steven? What got you started?
I think the same age as CJ. I was like 13, 14. I was a nu metal kid, so I was like super into Linkin Park. Meteora was my shit. Saint Anger. Me and Mario were both big Saint Anger, Metallica defenders.
Love Saint Anger.
Like, huge.
Really?
As
Yeah.
is. Literally as is.
Yeah, I know it's
Incredible.
I know it's controversial, but
Saint Anger is actually my first Metallica like album, so you know, I didn't know any
Wow.
of the old stuff. Like I didn't grow up with Metallica. That was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when Saint Anger came out. That
But
was
I,
like
I remember going to like get my first guitar. It was like an Epiphone, and I was like, "Make me sound. What do I need there? Here's a distortion pedal. I think it was an old like."
what was it, the Metal
Metal
Zone?
Zone?
Metal Zone,
Yeah.
Metal
yeah.
Zone.
And I actually played
Legend.
guitar for a long time. Even in Endless Obsession, I was playing guitar with Mike, and I still play guitar a lot. But bass has been kind of an acquired thing for me over the last 8 years. I feel like when I started playing, which was actually on the first EP, you can hear it. I'm playing kind of like a little bitch. I'm not really playing. I'm playing bass like I'd play a guitar.
Okay.
And it took a good amount of time to finally transition into like because they are fundamentally such different instruments.
Right. Yeah.
And it's really only in the last couple of years I would say I feel like I'm a bass player first.
Okay.
And I might write on guitar, but that's my secondary instrument.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's a good point that you made too, because a lot of people switch from guitar to bass just because a band needs a bassist. But
which is what happened. But.
Yeah, but you're right though, in a sense that like when you're right, like you could just do what the guitar does,
Like
right?
root notes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
But I
if
mean,
you're,
even
like-
just the way you pick notes and the way you articulate things should be different on
Yeah,
bass.
exactly.
And oftentimes
Yep.
it's just you're playing it with the same tension you would play a guitar, which
Right.
doesn't sound or doesn't feel as good. Probably
Yep.
is the better word.
Yeah, 100%. Like a good bassist will not just do the root notes, but kind of like make it cool and intricate and mess around a little bit more with it.
And fill in. Yeah. And like, I mean, you make it your own instrument. You don't just, you're not.
I
there.
love root notes too.
Oh no, they're good. No, they're good too.
Just whatever serves the song.
Exactly.
And I guess just
No,
seeing,
that's number one.
Seeing
Yep.
bass as secondary to guitar, not just an extension of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep, that's the right mindset.
I think that's what I was trying to say. Yeah. Yeah. And then
Mike, I'm
yeah.
a heavy gearhead. I love your guitar.
Oh,
The
thank
fan
you.
frets.
You know, this is like the EC 1000 of today, where all the people
I
like
don't.
this.
I haven't seen too many. I mean, I know fan fret guitars and things are more in style now, but I'm still not seeing them as much as I thought I would on sort of the
I
regional
guess
scene.
people are afraid of the fanned frets, but it's something that you get used to in like 30 minutes of playing.
Yeah, really?
If even that.
I'm intimidated by it. I don't know if I would.
Yeah.
You'll get used to it. You know, most of my practice is on a 6-string. When I practice every day, I have like a Kiesel, very similar make, but with these same like Fishmans inside of it and everything. And I'm able to just, go back and forth. It really doesn't make much a difference. Really quick, is everyone hearing me?
Yes.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
have any sound.
Oh, you don't?
It just died in the middle.
Oh.
But this still has a battery and everything. So did I touch something?
No, you're on the right channel. You have no volume. Your volume is down.
That's what this is. I have a volume.
Nice.
Smooth.
I was this
Love
many
it.
days old when I
We're
learned.
keeping
It's all
that
right.
in. We're not editing that out.
You gotta keep
Would
that.
you ask?
It all
That's,
stays.
that's a YouTube short right
You
there.
know, music background. I grew up starting from elementary school playing in string orchestras, played all the way through college, but like in high school I reconnected with Josh, asked him at homecoming, said, "Hey, you want to jam out sometime?" And he said yes. And then we started
Just like
jamming
that,
out.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Will you
Did-
be my drummer?
Was
like
it
the
really at
songs.
home?
Just
It
whispered
was
in
at
his ear,
homecoming?
and then he did
Huh?
like a nice
It was
little.
at home.
It was at homecoming, The real story is, because it's just pure chance. They were like foreign exchange students in high school from Austria. And I was in a photography class, and I was really just obsessed with I'm trying to find a drum. It's finding a metal drummer so hard. And then you find a drummer, and then they can't really play at all. And you kind of jam out people they can't really hang and everything. And these Austrians who were in my photography class, they're thrown in, and and their Austrian accents. I'm not going to do it because I'm not very good. But they say, "Hey, you should talk to our host, Josh Edwards, is a great metal drummer." I'm like, "Josh Edwards? I know Josh Edwards." And because of that, I went over to him at the homecoming and said, "Hey, man, you want to start jamming out?" And we did. We started Endless Obsession. And then, slowly grew that over all the years. I got like a classical guitar education at Rowan University. But, since then, I've been doing like lots of Troy Stetina. He's a great guitar educator. Bernth is incredible. He'll make you into a technique machine. I'm practicing still, maybe more now than I ever have in my life. I make sure every hours a day. If I don't, I'm not allowed to go to sleep. So
No, good. I love the discipline.
for sure.
Fuck yeah.
Woo! Nice.
This is the most like mid-30s coded conversation.
Seriously.
Like how
Don't
many?
worry. We're
How's
gonna
your
get
heart
metal.
doing?
We're getting better soon.
Yeah, my nephew, Uncle Mike.
Unk.
Yeah, straight up unk status.
Oh God, bro, I hate it. Fucking hate it.
It's like, are you worried about your health?
Don't you worry, gentlemen. We're gonna get tough soon.
Yeah.
We're back.
All right.
We're live.
Apologies. We just have stuff that breaks consistently.
That's the
It's
best
all
part.
Mario, we're very curious. Matt even brought it up while we were right after one of the songs you performed.
Yeah.
We'll get into lyrics in a minute, but I mean, screaming's not a course you can take, or
right.
you know, it's not a I mean, now more often there's a resource to go learn techniques and stuff. But
there's so much now with like screaming that like it's its own fucking like it's always been its own animal, but like now that it's really being broken down on like a technique level, there's just so much still to learn, you know.
Yeah.
And there's so much out there, but I guess like if I give a little bit of my background,
yeah,
like musically, I grew up playing like the clarinet, the saxophone in middle
all right.
school. Yeah, for middle school. Like in my middle school, you didn't have a choice. It was like, you're gonna do music, you have to have an instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like, no, you have to, like, you know, my mom was pretty strict, so I had to just do the work, do the homework, go home, you know, sheet music, all that stuff.
Yep.
So I did 1 year of clarinet and 2 years of saxophone from middle school, so 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then when I got to high school, like I'm like Steve, I was always into like nu metal, always, like since I was maybe 3 or 4 years old. I've always pretty much only listened to metal almost like my entire life. So I actually had an English teacher, Mr. Spira. And he was like, he would bring in, I went to a very small high school. And so like during lunchtime, we would have to eat in the classroom. And he would just bring his guitar. It was like an acoustic guitar. And he was such a good player. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? What's he doing? And he was just doing Metallica songs just on the guitar, like the acoustic guitar. And I was like, yo,
What's
like,
up,
do you
man?
listen to metal at all? And he was like, oh, yeah. And I'm telling him about like Slipknot and Lamb of God, and he's like, what? No, I hate that. That's not metal. He's like, you want to hear metal? You gotta, check out Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne, and he, just
We know
His
Rest
era.
in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I did, honestly. I was like, okay. And so I started listening to like the stuff he told me to listen to. A lot of Ozzy Osbourne, a lot of Black Sabbath, a lot of Metallica. Those were his top bands.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God, it like unlocked a brand new world for me. Like I don't know, like the most like guitar heavy stuff like I knew was like Bodum,
Right.
Children
Yeah.
of Bodum, things like that. But I'd say, yeah, around 16 years old, he, I had him for like my lunch period, and I was like, yo, could you teach me like how to play guitar? And he was like, sure. I mean, he would bring in an additional guitar for me because like I didn't have a guitar at home, and just every lunchtime he would give me tabs, and then he'd let me take the guitar home. And it was
Wow,
really
that's
cool.
really- that's
yeah,
really
it was
cool, yeah.
so dope. And especially like where I grew up, like I grew up in like inner urban cities, so like metal is not a thing. Like,
Mhm.
nobody listens to that stuff. You're an absolute like oddball. And I don't know, that was like the first adult I ever knew that was like into similar music.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's how I got started. But then, I just grew up playing in like hardcore bands because what people played around where I lived.
Yep.
And I just did backup screams. And then I told Mike that when we were in college, he was like, oh, what do you do? I was like, I play guitar. And he was like, I don't know how the conversation came up, but I was like, yeah, I can scream. And like I could, but not like I was never like the full-time guy.
Yeah.
And so when he was like, let's do this project, you could be the vocalist. I was like, oh shit, yeah, let's do it. And from that moment on, just really just dedicating myself to that. And that's how I'm doing it now.
It's
You've
been
changed
cool
your
to
style
watch.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, it's been really cool to see you grow.
Yeah. So
in
like,
a lot of different ways,
Yeah.
in not just like performance, but like being the front man and
yeah,
100%.
there's
Not-
a lot of learning with it, for sure. I'm learning on the
great.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Like, yeah, there's so much that goes into being a vocalist.
Absolutely.
You got to get the crowd going.
Yes.
You got to keep the energy up. Yeah, but so how did you, I guess, build technique? Did you just jump into it and just start
So-
screaming it?
Early on when I was doing guitars and vocals, it was just like, I don't know, just shout and scream and try like your best to not hurt yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then after a while, like when I started doing full-time GRÄVELORD, I realized like, okay, there's like, in order to do a 30-minute, 20-minute, just straight, and then like practices all the time, like I had to like clean up my technique. So at the time, and we're already talking like easily 10 years ago, there was one resource, and that was the Zen of Screaming by Melissa Cross.
That's so funny.
Mentioned
Yeah.
that
That's
before.
the
Classic.
first thing I bought.
Yeah.
And it
Me
was a
too.
lot of breathing techniques, a lot of stuff like that. But then really what like changed it all for me was Reddit. Like there's like a whole screaming section on Reddit that's existed for like the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just these people that were like, they just knew the anatomy and know the anatomy of like singing and the anatomy of like the voice and all that stuff. And they were able to break it down on like a super technical level. And then from that point on, it's like you have to do these specific techniques to unlock specific areas of like your vocal folds. And, like I said, they break it down really well. Like right now, there's a humongous, I'd say like community of like screamers and all that stuff. And there's just so much stuff now. There's like so many different types of screaming.
You see the Extreme Vocal Institute on Facebook?
Yes, like David, I think that's his name. Yeah, I love his stuff.
Yeah, he's in a
Um,
band now
he's-
too and everything.
Yeah, he's
So crazy.
He's amazing. And what I like about him in particular is he can transition from like technique to technique.
Oh,
like,
he's phenomenal.
yeah, like before back in the day, everyone was like, "Oh, is it fry screams or false chords?" And now there's just like glottal compression, and there's just so many different things you could do now, where it's
Actually-
like amazing. I'm still learning. I feel like maybe an intermediate screamer at this point in time, but like
You're always going to give yourself that because
Right.
you're learning.
Yeah.
But you do sound like phenomenal. You sound great.
No,
One
thank
thing
you.
that's really great about Mario is you listen to a lot of, vocalists like Lorna Shore. You have no idea what he's saying. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just,
It's funny how much they've come up on conversations here.
Right.
I know. But Mario, you could listen and you don't even need lyrics in front of you. You can hear what he has to say.
I
And,
like that too.
Yeah, I think it's important to be audible.
lyrics matter.
Oh yeah.
I think recently for like if you go through our like GRAVELORD stuff, like I used to be a super like heavy screamer where you wouldn't understand a single word. Now, like my goal is completely different now, and I was telling this to I forgot who upstairs, but I'm like, like I just want you to be able to understand what I'm saying
Yeah.
without having any lyrics in front of you. Just you can just hear it, and you're like, okay, I know what this dude is saying.
I think
Yeah.
that's the mark of good technique.
Absolutely.
Like if you can scream and have a guttural, aggressive sound, but be completely audible, and
Yep.
people know. I mean, all the greats you can always tell.
100%,
Yeah.
and it makes the songs more memorable, honestly. So
Yeah, I mean, there are the bands like Lorna Shore where they pride themselves on doing whatever it is that they're doing, and
Yes.
you can't hear it. But I'm in the camp where it's like I want to hear what you're saying.
Me too.
Like yeah, it's almost kind of like a little bit singing,
yeah,
But-
absolutely.
I've been listening to heavy music for so long, and I love it so much that to me, screaming is just. I always call Matt our singer.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it has its own voice and a pitch and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
There's a beauty to it, in a correct way to do it, and
Absolutely.
the right scream for the right music and the right tone. There's a lot to it. It's not just. People always like, they're yelling,
Right.
It's,
Yeah, no,
it's
people
so
try
much
to-
more than
You're
that.
not
now.
yelling.
Absolutely. Like people try to downplay it, but like
And when you hear like a good vote, you guys had Vescent on here. Like Justin's a phenomenal.
He's
vocalist.
incredible.
he's a
good.
fucking
Same where like you
beast,
can
that
hear
guy.
what he's saying. Ryan from Rain is really talented. You can
Yep.
hear the words, and when you hear someone screaming well, you're like, that's what that's.
Yep.
Supposed
Yeah,
to sound
you
like.
know it
Oh,
right
yeah.
away.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, shout out Vescent.
Absolutely, man. Those fucking guys are fucking dope. I love Vesson.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Vescent, we love you. We just mentioned you 10 times, so.
One of
I,
the best bands right now.
Yeah, they are.
yeah, for
Big
sure.
time.
I also wanted to talk a little bit about, because I know we were mentioning it earlier, like stage presence and things like that. How do you feel about that? Like, what have you been doing to keep the crowd entertained? What have you been doing to get better in that area?
Certain things, dude. Like I watch a lot of like other performers and like what they do, but it's got to be like mid to lower like regional bands, and like what they do, because there's just such a difference between your really gigantic bands that they can afford to just do 4 songs, not talk to the audience whatsoever, and
Right.
say a joke, and it's just
And they also have lights and pyro and things to
Right.
take your attention away
Yeah.
from, the 5 guys on stage.
So like I just try to pay attention to what like other bands do that I like and what fits with my personality, because I'll give you an example. Like a lot of people like to do jokes in between songs, and like I'll be honest, I don't like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like, you're not funny to me. You're just not, and like it's just a lot of forced laughter.
Yep.
And again, I'm not, and kudos to you if that's your personality and you are funny, but like I can't do that.
Yeah.
And like I feel silly doing that type of stuff.
Yep.
No.
The other
Yeah.
thing is like reading the audience. Like, if we're like at a nice South Jersey show, I'll be like, all right, time to 2-step, because I know kids will do that. I
Right.
know people will start 2-stepping because that's a thing out here. But if we're in like, the middle of Pennsylvania and I don't see a single like hardcore kid out there, and it's all like people in like metal jackets, I'm not gonna say,
Yeah.
start 2-stepping.
Start dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, start moshing or just fucking like punch each other.
Yeah.
You really have to understand the audience.
Yeah.
And that's been a lot of growth. And it's also been a lot of like us being like filmed has really helped. Like all of our friends, like they get videos of us, and I gotta give credit to Steve here. He is very he's very upfront, and he's like, hey man, you got to do better, or you got to get better at it, or you got to work on it, or he's always like pushing me to be better, and
Yeah.
I take it in stride. Like I don't feel bad about it, but you know, when people tell me like, hey, you did a great job, I feel like it's legit. And then when they tell me, hey, you could do better, then I got to look at what did I do wrong here, or
Right.
what could I do better?
Well, it's
That's
good you're
great.
motivated by it. You're not
Yeah.
deflated, you know.
We've
And-
changed a lot too. Like I think our expectations have shifted over the last 5 or 6 years. You know, it used to be where if we played a show and the audience wasn't like just killing each other, we're like,
Right.
oh, we suck.
Mhm.
And then we finally realized, like, remember that Reverb show we played with Tala?
Yes.
And we're like, oh, they know the words. And
Oh man, that's a great feeling.
that shift to like, okay, they're not moshing, but like they fucking know this song and like,
Right.
they're fans.
Yeah.
And leaving behind, I don't want to call it like an immature mindset, because obviously moshing is fun, it's cool to watch,
Right.
but to just focus on the performance and
Like, oh, they're listening.
right, they're listening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
And I also want to add to that people are paying their hard-earned money not to just listen to your music, because otherwise they would just go on
You
Spotify.
go- yep.
They're
Yeah.
there to see an actual performance.
Yep.
And that's been our wake up call in, I would say, the last few years, to really dial that in, be more of a engaging performer rather than just standing up there and trying to play, because nobody cares. Like, they're not going to know if you missed a note here.
Sure.
or
Oh,
there.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Yep.
And huge shout out to Preston for this, because, you know, for years we would play maybe like 3 shows a year. And when you're only playing 3 times a year, naturally, even though some of us are teachers, you're standing in front of people, you're about to play your songs that you really care about.
Yep.
You want it to be received well, you get a little tense. And now that we're playing so consistently, you can feel like the collective confidence is a lot higher, the floor is a lot higher, and Preston has a lot to do with that, you know, just the consistency of play.
You know, there's a lot that goes to a show. Like, there's one thing to practice, you know, at a rehearsal once a week, but then actually playing in front of people, like, it's its own fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, it really is. And you can't replicate that in the practice room.
Nope.
Like,
Yeah.
so us having so many reps, like playing 2 shows a month, playing 3 shows a month, you know, just playing all the time, like, out of those 3 shows, one might have been like, maybe I wasn't like the best, but now I'm like, next show I'm like, I'm fixing this and I can fix
Exactly.
it.
Yep.
And I know we were talking a little bit earlier, but like, I still get nervous. I'm not a super duper like outgoing person where I can just command the room in any setting that I'm in. Again, even as Steve was saying, like, being a teacher and things like that, like, it's so different. It's just not the same, you know, not that I'm like not confident, but like, it's just so different, you know, going up there, looking at the audience, knowing I have to command them.
Yeah.
Right.
If I want you to do this, I have to say that. So again, just like watching what other people do that I like and watching what I don't like.
Yeah.
Kind of helps.
100%. And practice and
Mhm.
like, yeah, you as long as you keep booking shows and keep going at it and keep doing it, you just get better and better and more comfortable and more comfortable. Because
Mhm.
I remember my first show, like, I was petrified.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even look at videos of it. I feel like I was such an idiot. Like, I was just up there, like, so scared and everything. But yeah, now it's like, you know, I'm not saying that I'm killing it, but compared to the first show, it's like,
Oh, absolutely.
it's so, you know, it's night and day. It's
Yes.
so,
I'll never forget the time I brought some chick out, and she said to me, you know, she said, "Don't you get afraid, like nervous, like getting ready to play in front of all these people?" I'm like, "Nah, I loved it."
That's my
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah.
It's my
I'm
where
more
I'm
with
most
you guys.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's kind of a little bit
Jealous.
different for vocalists. Like,
Sure.
you know, because we have to, like, speak to the crowd,
Mhm.
you know, like, I've been in bands where I was like a bassist, and
Right.
I just was fucking throwing my bass around and just
Yep.
having the time
Yeah.
of my life.
And
It was
the
phenomenal.
pressure's
awesome.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But as a vocalist, it
all
was
eyes
like,
are on you.
Yes.
You
Yep.
know?
and all eyes on you when it's quiet.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's when it's
Dude.
really like,
Yeah.
The
His
like-
worst thing is his favorite thing. I think is, hey man, I just got to tune real quick.
You know, and what really separates like really good bands from really average bands is like honestly, it's something that's that in between space between songs.
Yeah.
Like, it shows such a different level of professionalism, and that's something that we've like tried to focus on a lot. Like, we'd have backtracks playing, but even timing them, man, like, we still fuck it up, and I'm still like,
Like, there's nothing
shit.
worse than, like, we'll have our interludes playing, and then you're up there fucking crushing, and then it's like, this next song is called Anadonia, and it's like 10 seconds of song.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
I know.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it's the same thing for me too. If I'm like, I'm I don't realize the guys are tuning to like a new for the new song, and I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go. This next song is called blah blah blah.
Gives us
and
a
then I
great
just, like,
intro with a lot of energy, and it's just like,
and then
5
it's
more
like
seconds.
15 seconds later, just
Yeah.
crickets.
Oh god.
And that's when I realized I'm like, okay, I have to fucking do something else. I gotta figure out a way to
Just don't do a joke.
I'm 100% guilty of this. Where like in between songs, I'm always turning around to tune, and I'm like, oh god, how many fucking seconds? And I'm looking at Preston, and I'm watching his body language. I'm like, shit. Okay, I gotta hurry up here. And there's been times where, like, we jump into a song. I'm like, oh shit. I gotta. So
It's always
yeah,
a little.
It's an art.
It's nerve wracking for me as well because I control all that. And I'm
Right.
like, fuck, I just hit it too early and now he doesn't have time to tune. He didn't say what he had to say and the song started. I'm like,
Yeah.
they'll figure it out.
yeah,
Just start
I
playing.
gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you launched the nuke and now.
Yeah. Can't go back.
Yep. Yeah, we talked. We said we were going to talk about it. And Matt brought it up. The lyrics.
Yes.
Very lot of intent in your words. It's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No mincing words here.
No, man. Yeah. What do you have a like? What's your concentration when you're writing, or what? Where do you Where do you draw your inspiration from?
It depends, like different things. Like I need to, early on in like GRÄVELŌRD, like our very first EP, there's a lot of vague lyrics, just a lot of big words.
Like getting trapped into the undertow.
Right. Like things like that. I used to love that type of style. I think that's very like death metal, where not even just death metal, but like old school metal, where it's
Right,
like so metaphorical that could be anything, And then as I've matured, I've realized that what I personally like are super personable lyrics. Like lyrics where you're like, I know exactly what this is about. There's no like, oh, it's up to interpretation. It's like, this is what it's about. And so I realized like I wasn't making the lyrics about me. I was making them about anything, and everything. And so as I've matured in like as a lyricist, I've really tried to make it all come from like just within like what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking about. And yeah, just it really does. It's personable, honestly. So just like what I feel, what I think, that's where I draw my inspiration from. Exactly what's like what I'm going through, whether it's good, whether it's bad. I just try to channel that with like words as best as I can.
Do you find the good finding its way to your lyrics more, or because a lot of the stuff comes from
the bad,
right? Yeah, right.
I think in our genre, it's so much easier to focus on the bad that like maybe if there is good, like it's like few and far in between in the lyrics. But I'd say
the good is coming out of the bad too.
Yeah. I think like having a message, like No Crown is for me, it's a message.
Here we are. We're February. We're 2 months into 2026. We got a new record we're pushing. Tell us about the record.
Shit. I mean, it's our first time ever dropping like a full album, which is really cool because up until then we've done singles, we've done EPs.
It's not common in the local regional scene.
Absolutely not. To be honest, it wasn't even my idea. I can't remember who had it.
I was like,
I don't want to do that. It's not going to work because like we're in the singles era. So
yeah.
But honestly, it feels like such an accomplishment. First full album ever, Anesthetic. It was a lot of work, man, but it was super worth it. We recorded that with John over at Thornwall Studios.
Shout out to John.
Yeah, shout out John, man. That dude's a fucking beast.
John Sambrick over at Thornwall, which is he rents out of Atrium in Lancaster.
Also did
Lancaster.
Yara. If any of you guys know Yara out there, just did their record too.
Yara's awesome.
Yeah.
John's a fucking architect, dude. He does such great work. Down like the precision, the attention to detail really took what we had done previously just to a whole new level, and I think it's gonna stand the test of time.
Yeah, I highly suggest everyone just like, give it a spin, like go on whatever streaming platform and like play it. It's only it's like less than 25 minutes. So it's short, sweet, every song is just it's like right to the point, So
I mean, I feel like this is the definitive like sound, I think, of the group. You listen to our older stuff and it was a different era where even our writing style was kind of different.
Right.
It was a time when I would write a song, Mike would write a song, CJ would write a song, and that just kind of was the song, and then you would just slap vocals on it. This time it was a almost half a year process of like we had probably like 7 songs that didn't make the cut, and then to like do pre-production at CJ's house on all of them, so to just go into the studio.
So you were really well prepared.
Really prepared.
Oh yeah.
100%.
And in years past, the writing process was less collaborative, and this was kind of sharing ideas. Preston was huge in that, like the facilitation of just different arrangements digitally, and then to take that preparation into the studio and to use John's just diligence, and like the process was so, what's a good word, CJ? I don't want to say tedious, but
no, it was very meticulous.
Yeah,
it was very intentional. As far as the writing process, like you guys pretty much, it was so iterative. We had, for the most part, Steve, credit to him, he would come up with a lot of the foundational ideas.
Okay.
And we leveraged his, kind of producer mindset, and then he would send it to me or Mike or whomever. And we would pick it apart and add our own spin to it, change the notes, like an assembly line. I toss it back to him. refine, record, see how it sounds, what parts don't work. Then we would layer vocals on. Do the vocals work with the parts? Should the parts change to fit the vocals? Vice versa.
And you're all like involved in the that process.
All-
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a very honest effort, and it's hard for anyone involved in like, hey, this, when you finally you work really hard on something and you bring up the idea and it gets shot down, like.
Yeah,
it's hard.
It's tough. Yeah,
it's hard. I hate it. It's the worst part of like, because you believe in what you put out. And
right. Yeah.
when other people aren't seeing your vision, it's hard. And that happened a lot in this album. So, because we wrote so many songs, like as Steve was saying, so many songs. A lot of things that didn't make the cut. A lot of things that like we all personally believe like this is the one, and it wasn't. And so that's really hard. But it is just being honest, and like we have to. I think we got in this mindset recently where it's like we're all on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we're competing. We want the best product out there.
Right.
And when you think of it in that aspect, these guys are all on your side. They're on, they want this to sound good. They're not doing this to be mean. But it is, it sucks sometimes to just get your stuff rejected.
Yeah.
But I think it just pushed us, it really did. And this was like probably the first time where we were really like focused vocally, where I would tell Steve like I want big parts, and I was just being honest like that. Like I'm sorry, but like people are gonna focus vocals first,
Sure.
and so we need big vocal parts, and he was a big like advocate for that as well. And so
you can hear that on like Nostalgic Escape and Blood Ritual. Really, all the songs, they have a chorus section, and in years past it was more just like guitar part, guitar part, guitar part, guitar part, breakdown, guitar part. And that was really cool live, but especially in like the streaming era, we've seen a lot. It's just been more fun to push these songs out to like gen pop, like regular people. Like it's screaming, but it's still a chorus. Check it out.
Yeah.
Right. It's not. It's like made for anyone to enjoy. You don't have to be like a super 10-year metal veteran or like. It's for everyone. Like if you like hardcore music, you're gonna like this. We have hardcore in it. If you like metal, have that too. If you're like love shredding, we got it, dude. We have everything. I really believe in all of these people in this room, man. Like they're so fucking talented.
We got like two of the best guitar players.
I say this all the fucking time. I tell people, I'm like, oh man, you guys are really good, but I have the best guitars. Like,
and
it just is what it is.
It feels good to say it, right? Like when
man.
you have that sort of belief in your group of guys.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's a driving force enough to keep going.
And we kept a lot of like the guitar solos on the record and some of those classical like thrash elements. So I feel that it was a really good encapsulation of just, at least for me, what I've always wanted the band to be, which is like kind of staying true to the stuff that made us who we are, but kind of putting our own stamp on it without becoming this kind of like Bad Omens core everyone is right now.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
I'm trying to say, like,
Yeah, you guys factually have like the best guitars though. Like it's not.
These guys are machines.
It'd be kind of hard to debate the talent. I mean, everybody in this room. I mean, you guys are all fucking premier from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, and you brought it up. We're in the singles era. Was there? I mean, you put everything. I mean, did you release a single before dropping the whole thing?
we did.
We did three singles.
Okay, so that was smart. Yeah, I was going to ask, like, how has the marketing and the rollout been?
I'll let
Tremendous.
Steve take this over too, because like he's
Best ever.
Yeah. He's got a lot on this.
This is mostly like my department. I mean, so the first single we did was Anadonia, and that was in October,
Yeah.
right? And we basically did one every month. It was followed by No Crown and then Nostalgic Escape.
Right.
And, it's funny. We actually, especially CJ, you thought Anadonia was going to be the one that really took off. And it did well. Like, all the songs have done pretty well and gotten like the algorithm traction. And they're on Spotify Radio and Apple Music Radio and all that.
Nice job.
Excellent.
That's
Which is great
phenomenal.
to have all three songs getting consistent plays.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Which
time.
is no small
It's
feat.
new territory,
But, we thought Anadonia would be like the banger. And then, we put Nostalgic Escape out, which is the really melodic, kind of like
It's been our best performing song.
like within the first like week, it was at like 3K streams.
So funny how you like,
Well, and it's funny too because like that's my favorite song on the album is
Okay.
Nostalgic Escape, and I was telling Steve, I'm like, I really want this, and he was like, I don't know, man, I don't think it's gonna it's gonna do well.
Well, it's tough. So I usually, when I'm promoting things, it's a mixture of the social media game, which, like, to be honest, I like fucking hate, because it's that trying to promote your stuff that you're proud of without just being like cringe.
Look at me. Look at me.
Yep.
Right, and there's that fine line between
Me.
right.
Yep.
Hey.
And
Me.
it can come across, just at least to me, like, so, like, where I almost don't want to listen to your band because you're promoting it so ineffectively.
Yeah.
So we do the social media game, but I'm also pretty active with various like playlist curators, but even that can be frustrating. They'll respond with like, oh, like, I want clean vocals, I want a chorus, like, it's
Right.
not or
Right.
something, like, oh, it's not heavy enough. So we're in that, like, you never really know what anybody wants.
Sometimes
but
I feel like they don't even
know. Like, they just like, never mind.
Yeah.
But we've been very, very lucky with these singles that they've been well received by, like, our friends and family, the community, the scene, and like the online curation community. Like, Reddit has been super helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But we're very, very lucky that all the songs have gotten like just the algorithmic traction. So where that kind of reduces the load on you to have to constantly do the me. Here's my TikTok.
Yeah.
That I don't want to make.
How'd you guys get it on Reddit without getting it taken down? Because I recently had something where I posted Vesson on Reddit.
Yeah,
and
right after the PERNcast. Yeah.
It was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
it
Just
was
finding
trending like
different
crazy.
curators.
Yeah.
You found curators through Reddit.
Like different metal scenes and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Like, we
Gotcha.
actually have like something that's a little frustrating for me is I look at our metrics and shit. And, like, we'll have a lot of listeners in Australia.
Mexico
And
City.
our biggest city,
Germany.
Sweden.
It's Philadelphia, Gothenburg, Sweden, and like
Naturally,
Brisbane, Australia.
greatest city
Which
for
is-
metal in the world.
People
Looks
in
like you have some
Ukraine.
traveling to do.
Which
Like,
is
awesome.
It's really cool, but
like,
it's not helpful to we
to
still
go play in Philly.
I mean, in
Or
Philly's
South
fine,
Jersey.
we definitely have some legwork to do, and we're getting better at that with Central PA and Baltimore, and trying to get into Pittsburgh and then Columbus. But then you have the other issue of like, obviously we're not going to all take off a Tuesday and drive to Columbus, Ohio. So how can we make it like a tour that makes sense? And then that's a lot of logistics. So we're it's a good problem to have, but that's kind of where we're at. You know, the on the ground stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I'm excited for you guys. This new album, it's phenomenal. You guys have a lot of talent, like you said. Like your guitar players, it's the best in the game. Your vocals are so good, man.
thank man, appreciate it.
The bass is phenomenal. The drums, it kicks ass, man. And it's awesome to hear that you're a big motivating factor and a big push for the guys to get
everyone,
things going.
Every group needs it. So
Yeah.
I didn't really realize it until now, honestly. Like
passive influence.
It hasn't been like something I'm forcing, or you know what I mean?
no, it's just an energy you seem to be
being
bringing.
positive.
Yeah.
It's more just you not saying no. And
Right,
being-
yeah.
Stability, reliability.
Yeah.
Dependability.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And the willingness to
It's
just
like
do
the
shit.
SpongeBob
I guess just
jellyfish.
that goes
net,
that
all
goes a
reliable.
long way.
That's worth its weight in gold.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
That's what I was gonna say. I just try to pull my weight, you know.
Yeah.
Sounds like mission accomplished there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, yeah, you can ride the album for a little while, and you got a lot of good momentum. What's the rest of 26 looking like for GRAVELORD?
Definitely,
Next record.
Are you thinking about it already?
Oh yeah.
We should be.
We're
Damn.
thinking.
I mean, truthfully, like, we were in the studio, like, I already had like 6 songs done. And
I'm already
that's
writing again.
so-
You
Good.
know what? I did have a
and
question.
that's so good.
Sorry, I did have a quick question because you guys did the album, but before that, were you guys releasing singles frequently, or?
We did. So in 2022, we had a song called Just Like Me and Life in Disguise. Life in Disguise actually had a music video with it, and we did them just as 2 singles. This is back in the era where we kind of were just doing stuff. We didn't really have a plan or
Yeah, we're
any.
just brothers playing music and
Yeah.
making art and
That was it.
Having
enjoying
fun.
playing.
Yeah.
And then we did that in 2022. They didn't really go very far.
No.
Like, every song off our album already has more traction than those songs from 3 or 4 years ago have.
Yeah.
you know?
Nice.
The following year we did our Black album.
Yes, the Black
It
album.
was like a
And
3-song.
And really just, new logo,
Yeah. Trying to reinvent ourselves now.
Mhm.
That's what Self-Destruct was off of.
Yeah. So as far as like 2026, definitely playing as much as we possibly can. We're getting out there. We're hitting up the Northeast, as much as possible. Kind of just trying to get out of our comfort zone. Like,
Yeah.
our area is fine. We can bring friends. We can bring family. That's not an issue. it's like going out that, you know, like to these new venues and making these new connections and establishing these new relationships. And I think that's probably the big goal for 2026 is just continuing to network, you know, get our music out there. But yeah, man, we're going to be writing. We're going to keep doing it.
Good.
Yeah, there's one song left on the album that hasn't gotten like a formal push yet. It's called Full Betrayal. That's our hardcore song. So we'll probably be pushing that at some point.
Cool.
But other than that, yeah, it's just getting out there, and that has its own challenges of like hitting up promoters, cold calling people. Like, and you know those shows too. Like I found promoters, they want you to make their life easy, and you got to prove that you can give something to them. So when you're trying to book a show, and you know, I don't know, like fucking like Virginia, when you don't really have pull. You know, it's tough because you don't want to lie and be like, we can bring out so many people,
right,
but you want to have the opportunity.
Yep.
So I think just the best thing you can do is be prepared, be honest, and be professional.
Yeah.
And hope they give you a shot.
Yep.
And that might mean, for me, it's meant like emailing back, just following up a lot.
It's what I mean,
for sure.
at this level, it's just, you know, it's just what it takes. I mean, just got to stay persistent, you know, tastefully, and you know, sometimes you hit a home run and you'll get an opening gig for a big band, or you'll just get a new venue in front of new people, and that's what, you know, that's the name of the game right now.
On that note, we will be playing with Rivers of Nihil at Reading,
Love that
Pennsylvania.
band.
Yeah.
Saxophone core.
Yeah, if you're
yeah.
into that,
Bring the jazz
We will be there.
saxophone solos back.
that's in what is that, March?
It's March 14th.
March
Awesome.
14th.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're opening. You know, speaking of opening for big
Yeah.
bands.
Hey,
Yeah.
congratulations.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we've opened for big bands in the past, and it just feels great that once you have this momentum, this is the shit you can kind of do.
Yep.
You know, we're able to just kind of jump on shows like this.
Yeah,
so.
you got to get yourself a decent resume, right?
Yeah.
It's just like anything else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so just that, and just trying to avoid the burnout, you know?
Yeah.
Want to make sure you want to keep setting your sights further without forcing someone to like resent the group, or, you know,
Right.
which is always that tough balance when it's not your full-time job.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a marriage. You got to make
Yeah.
everybody happy.
Yep. But hey, guys, thank you so much for coming here and playing those songs and hanging out, bullshitting with us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks
for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much
cool.
for having us. This was great.
I really appreciate
Super awesome.
it. Cool.
It's awesome.
All right, guys.
GRÄVELŌRD, everybody. Woo!
Let's go.
That was fucking awesome.